Okay, let's make some chocolate chip cookies. These are the dark ones, but I've got white and dark because I didn't have enough. Hey, chocolate chips are chocolate chips, right? Okay, what does it say? It says 114 grams of butter. This is softened butter. It's cold in my house. I don't know how soft this is. It's not too bad. $84 grams of granulated sugar, white sugar, and 78 grams of brown sugar, light brown sugar. Light brown sugar is what you want to use. Dark brown sugar is more like has more of a molasses taste to it. That's good in like pecan pies and stuff. All right, we're gonna go ahead and cream this together. You remember what creaming is, right? You wanna get it nice and mixed. You can use a spatula for this. It's not a big deal. These are fairly quick to make. But we got the blender, might as well use it, right? Mixer. Nice deep bowl. Definitely want to make sure it's all smooth. All right, that looks nice and smooth, don't it? Then we're going to take one large egg. I crack that into something else. We don't want to crack that directly in case it's got a bloody piece in it or the shells break. All right. We want to mix that till smooth. Alright, I'm going to sling that off of there and scrape the bottom one good time, because you always want to scrape the bottom. Get anything that's stuck down there, chunks of butter, little pockets of sugar or whatever. You never know what's down there. Alright, that's nice, huh? Looks like nicely blended. Okay. Now it says to add 160 grams. I'm doing this in grams because it's easier to break down. 160 grams of all-purpose flour. It's easier to break the recipe down. And it's calling for a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This is a 1 teaspoon thing, so 1/4 teaspoon of salt. 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, baking soda. 1/2 teaspoon of that. Okay, sift it in there. Sifting will make sure you get all the chunks and everything out. There may be chunks in your flour or in your baking powder or baking soda. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give that a mix. Start on low. This can definitely be done with a spatula. I wouldn't try to use a hand whip on this. So chocolate chip cookies, if they ever come out flat, which happens a lot, it's because they're not cold enough. They'll spread on you. And if they're not chilled, they spread flat and then start cooking. When you make the cookie and roll it into a ball and then chill them, the outside has a chance to cook and solidify a little bit before the inside starts cooking, and then gives it a chance to keep its structure and its shape. All right, scrape the bottom there. Let's go ahead and get us a mix again. Now, if you want to put nuts in here, you can put pecans, chopped almonds, whatever your favorite nuts are. This is just a basic cookie dough right now, right? So you can put chocolate chips, butterscotch chips, all kinds of different things in there. All right, I'm going to sling that. All right, get that out of the way. And this calls for 190 grams of chocolate chips. There's a lot in there. That's about a cup. Looks like a little bit more, but it's not. Now you can do this with your mixer. They have a tendency to chop up your chips if you do it this way, but just don't go too fast. You don't want to go beating it to death now. You just want to mix these just until they're incorporated. And then you could throw in about a half a cup of nuts, maybe a cup of nuts, depends on how much stuff you want in there. All right, sling it. I'm going to give this a quick fold. All right, you don't need to get your oven hot yet because you're going to put these in the fridge for about an hour. You don't have to. I mean, you can do it, but it'll flatten out. Your cookie won't be as tall, which is nothing wrong with that. But all right, you can tell they've got different colors of chips in here. That's kind of cool, isn't it? All right, where's the scoop at? So a 2 tablespoon cookie will come out about 3 inches. This is my 3/4 tablespoon scoop. You got a 1 tablespoon. So what I'm going to do, just go a little bit bigger in my scoop. I'm going to scoop some of these out. I don't know. This should do about 30, maybe 25 since they're larger. So we're going to go about 12 of these. If I make 25 of them, I'm going to eat 25 of them. You can use a soup spoon, a couple of soup spoons. It don't really matter. All right, 2, 4, 10. Go 11. 11's a good number, right? Let's get these out of the way. All right, so what you want to do, just roll them into balls. You don't need to get them on the pan right now if you don't have that big of a refrigerator. Doesn't matter how close they are because you're not cooking them. And these guys are going to go in the fridge for at least an hour. You want them to get nice and solidified. You want that fat in there. Everything there to get rock hard. Let me wash my hands out. All right, so I'm going to put these in the fridge for about an hour or so. Meanwhile, let's wrap up the rest of the batter. That should be enough for another day, right? All right, so we're going to make a nice log out of this with a piece of plastic, parchment paper, whatever you want to use. Long ways. Shape it into a log. That's about a good sized cookie right there. We're done. We can cut them in as thick as our finger. They'll flatten out that way a little bit, but you can roll them into balls. Get your shape and roll it up. I'm going to grab one side and give it a twist. And flip it over. And then twist that one too. And then you can just give it a real nice twist on both sides like this. Make sure you write it down. If you get a couple different kinds in there, you don't know what's in there. And you can throw that in the freezer, throw it in the fridge. That'd be good for a couple months in the freezer, that's for sure. All right, well, I'm going to let this go in the fridge for about an hour, let these get hard, and I'll be back. We are back. These guys have been in the fridge a good hour and 10 minutes. Nice and solidified. After reviewing my notes, I thought it was the same recipe as it says on the package, but it's a little different. So this guy, we got the oven to 325, and these are going to go for about 15 minutes. This is one of the other ones that we used to do the cookies at 325, 10, turn 10. So every 10 minutes we turn them. So we're going to go 325 on this, and I'm going to go 12 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to turn them at about 8 minutes. I'm going to turn them. I'm turning, remember, is turning the pan around about halfway through, so that if your oven is heating unevenly, it'll cook them from all different sides. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the oven. Hopefully they don't flatten out too much today. Okay, we're back. It has been 18 minutes. Let's get these guys out. There they are, huh? Nice. Nice and lightly golden brown. Just a little dark around the edges. You can see the different colors of the chips in there. That's kind of cool, huh? I may have to remember that one. So we're going to let these cool completely for about 15 minutes on this tray. And then we'll come back and check them out. They're going to sink a little bit. But they're not super tall. They'll sink a little bit, but we'll see how they come out. So I'll be back in about 15 minutes and we'll have give these a look-see. Okay, we are back. So these got to cool for about 15 minutes or so. The hardest part is letting them cool without eating them when they're warm. So there's the back side of them. Pretty nice looking. They're a little soft in the center. Let me see if I can't get one up here close. Make the little sound there, thumping it. A little soft in the center, a little break to them. They're not crunchy crunchy. The outside's a little crunchy, but that's what we're looking for. No one's going to say your cookies are undercooked. See the white chocolate in there, looks good. A little crunch. It's good. You can taste the salt in them. I think if you, these went 18 minutes. I think if you went 15 minutes, you get a nice tender, softer cookie. They're not flat, but they're not that super thick kind like you see. I think if you had nuts in there, it would give it more structure. All right, there's our cookies. I hope you like them.